Hey, Cleo. Sorry to bother you, but I can't contact my husband. He hasn't answered my calls. Do you know if he's busy right now?
Hi, Alice. If you're looking for your husband, please wait a minute. I'll check his schedule. Oh, the director is out to lunch right now. I believe he will be back within the hour. Is there something urgent? Shall I tell him to call you back immediately?
Oh, I hadn't realized he was eating right now. No, I don't want to interrupt him. He doesn't need to get back to me, it's all right. Do you by any chance know roughly what time he's going to be leaving the office today?
Sure, madam. He doesn't have anything special on his schedule after lunch. I believe he could go home at any time this afternoon.
That's great to hear. Today is our son's birthday. I was worried he might have to work late today. I was hoping that wouldn't be the case.
Oh, can you tell him happy birthday for me? Your son are so cute.
Of course I will. If you like, why don't you join us for dinner tonight? Peter has taken such a liking to you. He really loves you. If you were to come, I know he would be really happy to see you.
That's so nice of you to invite me. But I'm not part of the family. I would hate to intrude on something as special as a birthday. This is something for you all to share and enjoy. I don't want to get in the way. But please give him my best wishes.
Honestly, you really wouldn't be intruding. Don't worry about it. We would still love to have you here.
I'll be sure to send a present home with the director. He likes the Flash stuff right now, doesn't he? From that show all the kids are watching? If he has anything else he has taken an interest to, please let me know. I know kids find new things to love all the time. I'd like to get him something he will really enjoy.
Cleo, you're too kind. You really don't have to put that much thought into it though. You honestly don't need to get him anything at all.
No, Alice, I would really like to get him something. Your family is always so good to me. It is the least I could do. I would really like to get him something for his party.
Well, if you say so. Thank you, Cleo. You've been an absolute blessing to my husband. You take such good care of him at work. You really don't have to do anything for our son. You already do so much.
That's nice of you to say, but birthdays are special. Especially when being young. It makes me happy to do something special for him.
You're so good to us. If you really feel that way, then we will be happy to accept a gift from you. Thank you so much for everything.
It's my pleasure, Alice. Also, the director has just returned from lunch. He's walking into the office now. I'll remind him about the birthday celebration for you. I'm sure he won't be late.
Thank you, Cleo. That would be great. You really should join us for dinner sometime soon.
I would love to, thank you very much. Is there anything else I can do for you?
No, thank you.
Have a great day, Alice.
Bye, Cleo. Hey, Cleo. I wanted to say thank you for the present you sent my son. He absolutely loves it.
I'm really glad to hear that. There are so many different kinds to choose from. I wasn't sure which one he would like the best. So I went ahead and got a few different ones. I hope they aren't taking up too much space or making a mess.
He has plenty of space in his room. And he plays with his toys in there. So don't worry. But it looks like you liked your gift the best. He's playing with them every day.
Oh, that's so nice to hear. I'm glad he likes them. The director told me that your son really loves the belt from the costume. I think they use it to transform or something in cartoon.
Yes, he loves it. Every day, he runs through the house transforming into the Flash. I can hardly get him to stop to go to bed. I think it's definitely his favorite. I don't really know much about the shows he is watching these days. I always struggle with picking out a good present for him. I'm glad you found something he likes.
I am glad to hear that.
You always seem to know exactly what to do. You can pick the perfect gifts every time. Even though you're still single.
Oh, I have some nieces and nephews. They are all around the same age as your son. So I always know what's popular now.
I see. And if you are free, why don't you join us for dinner tonight? Don't you have any other plans, right?
I mean, I don't have any plans, but are you sure?
I would love to have you here. I want to thank you for how much you take care of our family. And I know my son would love to see you. I'm sure he will want to show you the costume you bought for him.
If you say so, I'll come.
Great! I should keep in mind when planning the menu. Are there any foods you don't like, or do you have any allergies?
Oh, not at all. Anything is fine. I like everything. I appreciate you asking, but you really don't have to worry about me.
And you don't need to bring anything with you. We've received so many gifts and goodies lately. We have everything we need. We just want you to come and enjoy some time together.
Yeah, it's so nice of you to say so.
I need to take care of for dinner, so I will talk to you soon. I'm looking forward to tonight.
Me too.
Thank you for joining us last night. We had a really great time. I hope you did too.
I had a wonderful time too. Thank you so much for having me. It was really fun and I enjoyed spending some time with your son.
I know we talked about it a little bit yesterday. But don't you want to get married? Have you put much thought into it?
I don't think about it. It's just that I am very busy with work. I think it would be better if I waited till I wasn't so busy all the time.
Well, if you get married, it won't really matter anymore, right? You won't know until you try. I think it must be a little bit lonely to spend all your time working. I don't think that's very good for a young lady like yourself. And besides, if you keep putting it off, I think it will get hard for you to find someone to marry. There are plenty of fish in the sea, but more and more of them get caught every day. You know what I mean? You're already 32. You've got to think about your future. If you don't get married soon, it will be hard for you to have children.
I do think I want to have children of my own someday, but I have my nieces and nephews.
Your sister and you are two different people. Just because they have kids doesn't mean you do. Trust me on that.
I just worry that if I get busy with my own life and children of my own, I won't be able to help her when she needs me, and I really want to focus on my career right now.
I don't mean to be rude, but is there anything in life more important to a woman than finding love? You're a great secretary. You do a wonderful job. But isn't it kind of a young person's job? Do you really want to do that forever? Why don't you think about moving on to something else like a family? Give that job to another young girl or something. I know a lot of great men. I could introduce you to all of them.
Okay, I'll think about that. I have to get back to work now, Alice.
All right, bye-bye. Cleo. Pick up the phone now. I knew it. Can't believe you did that to me.
What? What's wrong, Alice? I don't get what you're saying.
You're having an affair with my husband.
What? Hold on.
Don't act like you don't know. I kept thinking that something was strange. I knew something was off about you. You are 32 now and not married. Not even wanting to meet anyone. Always say things like, I'm too busy with my job. Now I know that's your only excuse. I should have known earlier.
Just a moment. There must be some kind of misunderstanding. I have no idea what you are talking about.
I don't think so. There is nothing to misunderstand at all. You're sleeping with my husband. I've had a gut feeling for some time. There has been something suspicious about everything from the beginning. I know why you didn't want me to introduce you to anyone. Because you've already found someone.
No, that's not it. You need to calm down.
How dare you? I'm as calm as I can be. You hussy, don't you feel even the least bit bad about it?
You're mistaken, Alice.
Shut up! I demand that you break things off with my husband at once.
I don't know what else to say. I promise that you really are mistaken. I'm just your husband's secretary. That's all. Nothing more. We have no other relationship. Whatever you are thinking, it just isn't the case.
You think I am mistake? He's been coming home late so often lately. He never used to come home late. That's a huge red flag. I can't believe I didn't see it. It's because he's been meeting you. He's been spending his time with you. So explain to me just how I'm mistaken?
Of course, we do meet up sometimes outside of work. I don't deny that. But sorry, Alice. The director is my uncle.
Excuse me? Are you insane? I have never once heard that. How is that possible? Have never even heard about him having brothers or sisters?
Please hear me out. I promise you that I am not lying to you.
It's a bit strange that I don't know about his siblings. Why wouldn't he tell me? So tell me, why did you become his secretary? How did that come about? You were looking to catch yourself a wealthy man, weren't you? Even if you can fool my husband, you can't pull the wool over my eyes. I've seen it happen to other women before. Well, it isn't happening to me.
Please listen to me, Alice. I can explain everything if you will just listen.
I don't need to hear any excuses from a thief caught in the act. You know what? For trying to steal my husband, you'll get fired.
What?
I'll repeat. You'll get fired.
Please just wait a moment. Give me a chance. I understand that you're very upset. But if you jump straight to firing me, there will be a problem.
Having you around is the biggest problem. Your exist is a problem for me. You have got to go.
I'm so sorry you feel that way. I wish you would let me explain.
Oh, I think I shouldn't get you fired. I should sue you to the court. I want you out of my life as soon as possible. I want you to disappear from our lives forever.
Please don't be so hasty. I'm sure the director, I mean your husband, will be able to explain.
I don't need to hear anything from that cheater. I don't want to hear another word about any of this from either one of you.
I see. If that is what you really want, then go ahead. You can sue me.
Do you know what you're saying? If I sue you, you have zero chance of winning. You understand that, right?
The truth is the truth. And I have done nothing wrong. I have told you that he's my uncle. It's nothing more than that.
You sound so confident. I'll make you regret trying to steal my husband.
I'm confident because I'm telling the truth.
Shut up! After what you've done, you will be fired.
I understand. If you like that, I'll leave the company tomorrow. Today will have been my last day. Hopefully, that can help me earn your trust again.
What? I will never trust you again. Cleo! You need to get back to work now.
What? Don't you forget getting me fired?
Yeah, but I don't care. You need to show up right now. My husband is so angry. He's so upset when he knew you had left. He already shouted at me. I've never seen him like this before.
Well, maybe that is for the best.
What are you talking about? He's furious right now. He said the only way this will end well is if you come back to work. He was very serious when he said it.
Well, I don't care. I got a new job now. I don't need to get back my old company.
Please, Cleo. My husband scolded me a lot. He said without you, he couldn't manage to work properly. You are the best secretary for him.
You know what? I am certainly that I'll never come back. And I don't want to say anything to you.
Please, Cleo. I know I'm wrong. I'm wrong when I thought you cheated with my husband. My husband confirmed with me that you are his niece.
Alice, now you know the truth. But you need to know to one more thing. That I actually don't like men.
What? Are you lesbian?
Yeah, so that's impossible for me to date your husband.
Why didn't you say that at first?
Did you really let me explain to you? You accused me without considering my words. So now, everything is clear. Just stop here.
Wait, Cleo. Wait!
After that, Alice tried to contacted me a lot of times, but I blocked her number then. That's kind of annoying. Without me, the director really faced the huge problem in managing the timetable. Because of that, he decided to divorce with Alice. Then Alice just got a small amount of money and a car after the divorce. She should need to learn a lesson from all she did.
Where you at now? I have been waiting for 2 hours. You have to be at home as usual? Reply me now.
Are you at home now? I thought you were on a business trip.
I finished my work earlier than scheduled. But where are you now?
I don't think you're at home this early.
Did you really go to work today? You're not lying to me. Are you sure you weren't just playing around wasting money while I was at work?
What are you talking about? Of course not. I don't even have the money to do something like that. Most of the money I earn from my part-time job is sent to your mother. I have to also pay for your credit card debts too. I don't have time or the money to play around. I have to work overtime all the time.
Oh, what? You're saying it's my fault because I need to use my credit card to pay for things? I am the one who needs to work 5 days a week to pay for everything. I have to use my credit card all the time because you don't bring home enough money.
Why are you saying this? Are you trying to make me feel bad?
My coworkers are living a better life than us. Even though they have the same salary as me. They even have the money to buy brand items. The only thing that I have that's different from them is having you as my wife.
Are you sure it's not something else? Like your bad spending habits, perhaps? Or maybe your coworkers cooperate better with their wives. If we didn't have to send money to your mother every month, we would be living a more comfortable life. You know we have to send money to her.
She needs it. My mom even said we're not sending enough money. What? We're family! Doesn't family help each other when they're in trouble? Do you hate sending money because she's my mom? You would send money to your parents if they needed it. Don't be cheap.
I don't hate your parents. I want to help them too. It's just that I heard that your mother went on a cruise ship recently. Where did she get the money to do that?
She probably went because her friends pressured her she didn't go. And so that she wouldn't feel left out. Besides, what's wrong with letting her go on vacation? She deserves it.
I'm just saying she doesn't look like she's struggling with money. Yesterday, she even bragged to me about the brand items she bought on the internet.
So what do you want my mom to do? She has spent the rest of her life as a poor person.
No, I just wish she wouldn't waste the money we send.
She struggled raising me when I was still living with her. I want to give back by sending money every month once I started working. Why don't you understand how I feel? Don't you want to thank your parents for raising you?
I'm sorry, I was being inconsiderate. I won't complain about sending money to your mother anymore. But can you at least spend less on your credit card? I don't want us to get in any more debt.
I have to climb the corporate ladder by making connections. To do that, I have to accompany them wherever they go. You never understand how these things work. You're a housewife after all. It must be easy for you.
No, I also work a part-time job. I don't stay at home all day long. Working part-time is to earn some spending money.
It's different from the stressful work I have to do all day. Part-time and full-time are completely different things. Don't lump them together.
Then why are you being so rude? Is it because I wasn't home? I have worked hard all day. I even have housework to do when I get home from my part-time job. I don't have it as easy as you think.
Well, anyway. You better come home quickly. I'm starving. You need to make dinner for me right now. Make sure my beer is cool too. Taking care of your husband is more important than your silly part-time job. Don't you have to work today?
Yeah.
I'm at home and do housework. I'll remember to pick up your suit from the cleaning store if you're texting to remind me. I'm already preparing the steak you wanted to eat for dinner today.
No, I'm coming home late today.
What? You're coming home late? You told me that you're coming home early today. What happened, is it?
My boss wants me to work overtime. It's important.
It's okay, I can microwave the steak when you come home. It won't taste as good though.
That's not important. But, Lily, you didn't send this month's money to my mom yet. Did you forget to do that?
No, it's just that I have to pick up your suit from the cleaning store today. I don't have time to do that now. I'll do it as soon as I finish my work.
Okay. You still remember to do that. Mom has called me 5 times today. I even got out the meeting to answer her call. My mom also wants you to send more from now.
What? Hold on. We're already sending $500 every month, right? How much is she asking us to send?
She wants us to send $300 more than that. So $800 in total.
I think that's too much. We're already struggling with money ourselves.
Your part-time job pays $800 every month, right? It's not impossible to handle that amount.
No, it's impossible. I was sending $500 every month to your mother and using the money I had left to pay the bills. I can't afford to send more money.
It'll work out. We have enough money.
No, I'm saying it definitely won't work out. I don't even have money to spend for myself. Most of it goes to your mother or to pay the bills.
That's not my problem.
I don't even have $10 to spend for myself. How can I continue living like this?
I don't care.
What? Don't you care about your wife? You make enough money to save $500 every month. Can't you use that money to send to your mother?
That money is for my personal use. Because I'm the one who is to work every day.
Don't you remember I work too? Don't you think I should have a personal allowance?
But you're a part-time worker. You really think you can talk back to me like that? We're not on the same level.
If I don't work my part-time job, you wouldn't be able to afford sending money to your mother. I have every right to talk back to you. My job is important too.
If you think your job is that important, you wouldn't have trouble sending the money.
Stop complaining. I already said it's impossible to do that.
Then why don't you quit your part-time job and start working full-time?
I became a housewife because you told me that you wanted me to take care of our house. I only started working a part-time job because your salary wasn't enough to send the amount of money to your mother. Aren't you being a little selfish? Don't act like I'm not doing anything to contribute to our house.
I'm not selfish. You're just being cheap because it's my mom.
I don't care if you think I'm being cheap. I'm just stating the facts. We can't afford to send any more money. We have to reject her request.
No way. If you don't agree to send more money, I'm kicking you out of the house.
What are you saying? Are you serious about that?
I'm saying that I don't want a disrespectful wife like you. The food you make looks and tastes cheap. You never wear makeup and your clothes are too old. Every time I talk to you, you have to nag about saving money and not overspending. I don't want to spend my life with a woman like you.
What? Don't you realize that you are the one who made me this way? I want to buy makeup and clothes, but I never have money to spend on.
That's your fault. You're bad at managing the money. I go out and work every day, so it's your responsibility.
What kind of logic is that? I have to do all the housework and finances on top of going to my part-time job. Don't you know how hard I've been working to keep our marriage from falling apart? You're not the only one that's been working hard. I've been working hard too.
Okay, I don't want to fight with you. You have to send more money to my mom. That's it.
If I get kicked out of the house because I didn't agree to send money to your mother, does that mean you want us to break up?
Of course we would get a divorce. I could probably find thousands of women who would be a better wife than you. Maybe I'll find a cute girl who won't talk back to me.
If that's what you want, I won't try to change your mind. I've made my decision. I won't agree to send more money to your mother. I don't care if we get divorced.
Okay, let's get divorced right away. Then get out of my house once you have everything packed. I don't need a wife who doesn't support her husband and mother-in-law.
Lily, when are you moving out of my house? We agreed that you would get out as soon as possible.
I still have to pack up everything. There is so much left. Moving isn't easy.
I need you to hurry up and get out.
Why are you rushing me? Is there something going on?
My mom decided to move in with me after you get out. Her current is too old. Since you're not going to be here anymore, I thought it'd be a good idea to have her live here.
What'll happen to your old house?
It'll probably not be worth much, but we're planning on selling it. Why are you taking so long to move out? I'm not going to take you back even if you beg me.
What are you talking about? I'm packing up your things.
What? What are you doing? Don't touch my things. Are you going to take my things with you when you leave?
No, Browns. I'm the one who won't be letting you into my house. I just finished packing up the last box. You have too many things.
Why are you packing my things? It's my house. You're the one who's going to move out.
Did you forget this house was passed down to us from one of my relatives?
So what? I'm still the owner of the house.
No, the house is in my name. Just because you're my husband doesn't mean you would have full ownership of the house.
What? What do you mean?
It doesn't matter if you see yourself as the head of the household. I'm still the owner of this house.
You're kidding me, right?
Why would I lie? I have papers if you don't believe me.
So can't have the house after I divorce you? Since when did you have the house in your name? No one has told me about that.
It was in my name from the beginning, of course. My relatives meant for me to have the house. I had told you right before we moved in. I guess you were too excited about the house to listen to me. I suspected that you forgot about it when you started talking about kicking me out. I was so confused at first, but I didn't really think you thought you had full ownership of the house. I didn't think you were that stupid.
Why would you have ownership of the house? I'm the one supporting you.
That doesn't matter. Get out of my house now. Now that we're separated. Don't worry, I'll deliver all your things to your mother's home.
This isn't funny, Lily. Don't touch my things without asking. I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, by the way, I changed all the locks on the house. You won't be able to come inside ever again.
What? Hey, Lily. Please forgive me. I will tell my mom to apologize and beg for your forgiveness. She will even get on her knees to apologize to you.
From what I remember, you were the one that wanted the divorce first. Because you don't want to lose the house, so now you are begging me?
Please, Lily. I calmed down. I'm perfectly calm right now.
No, Brown. There's not any chance for you and your mother. You two are such greedy and irresponsible. For the past 4 years living with you, I have been putting up with a lot. You treat me like your ATM machine and housemaid. You both want me to earn money and force me to do housework. I have to cook whatever you request. If the dishes is a little salty or sugary, you will scold me all night. You never touch the housework. I am the one to do all these things.
Lily, please. I will do everything you want if you give me another chance.
Never. I know I was old when getting married with you. And that's the reason why I put up with all the time. I was afraid that no one would marry me. But now, I've changed my mind. I don't need a man to live with. I need the freedom.
Please forgive me, Lily.
I am so sorry, Lily.
I am under a lot of pressure in our marriage. And your mother. She is such a bad woman. She never knows how hard to earn money in the city. I have to struggle a lot. While she just spends carelessly the money I earn. She relaxes and doesn't care anything. Now I will take over the house. There is no way you and your mother can step into my property.
Why are you so cruel? I'm your husband.
Have you heard what I say? Are there things should a husband do to his wife? You will never take a penny from this marriage.
Bye.
After all, Brown forced his mom to say sorry to me. But I don't care about it. Because of verbal abuse I had to endure, I got a fair amount of alimony from him. I'm satisfied with the divorce settlement. Without my sending money to his mother anymore, his mother was not satisfied with anything. She started buying things with his money without telling him. From what I heard, they fight every day. My ex-husband, however, found out that his mother also had debt. His financial situation became disastrous. I'm glad that they're finally get the karma they're deserved.
Did you go out or something, Bella? When I arrived home, it was pitch black. I have no idea what's going on. Hello, Bella, how are you?
What do you want?
Sorry, I was just wondering whether you were out or if you had gone somewhere. It's becoming late, you're not home yet, and you haven't told me anything or left a letter or anything of the sort. I think I was simply becoming a little nervous, but who can blame me?
So you're finally back at home?
Yes. I had some things at work that I needed to get in order before I could go, but I'm finally back.
Is that correct?
Yes. So, when do you suppose you'll get home tonight?
I'm not going to that house again, Samson.
What's that? I don't get it.
The truth is that I have reconciled with my ex.
What exactly did you do? Do you mean the same ex who you said was continually taking out loans he couldn't pay back and attempting to entice you to help him?
Yes, he used to be like that, but that's all in the past. He has paid off all of his debts and is now a contributing member of society. He's definitely changed.
I'm not sure I'd feel the same way about a guy who is desperate to rekindle his relationship with one of his ex-wives.
You don't even know him, therefore I don't see how you can justify disparaging him.
If you're truly abandoning me to rekindle your relationship with him, I believe I have the right to slander him a little.
Oh, mature. He worked very hard to get his life in order so that he could have me back. Isn't that touching? I was moved, and I believed he had truly changed. That is why I have decided to leave you. He's the one. I'll just be going over to get my belongings, and that will be the last time you see me. It doesn't matter if I forget something.
Hold on. This discussion is far from over.
Anyway, I'm out of time, so bye.
Bella, hold on. Please come back. We're not done yet.
I'm sorry, is this Mr. Sampson's phone number?
It certainly is. May I inquire as to who I am speaking with?
Yes, I apologize for messaging you like this out of the blue with no introduction. My name is Edward, and I work for the law company LNP.
Okay, fine. So you're Edward, right? And you're a lawyer, right?
Yes, it is correct. Your wife hired me. She provided me your phone number so that I could contact you. I hope that's okay.
So you were recruited as my wife's personal lawyer?
Yes, sir. Okay, I'm afraid I've already taken up too much of your time, so if there are no more questions, I'd want to explain why I'm contacting you. Your wife looks to want to divorce you.
Oh, so she's dead serious about reuniting with her bad ex, huh?
So you're familiar with your wife's situation, I see. I think this could save us both some time because there is less to explain in this scenario. As part of the divorce proceedings, your wife is demanding $30,000 in alimony.
Excuse me? She's attempting to extort $30,000 from me? Despite the fact that she was the one who was conducting the affair?
I see you don't know much about the law, sir. Please allow me to explain a bit more so that you understand what is going on here. In this scenario, the law does not distinguish between one party being unfaithful and another being faithful. However, the law states that if a woman divorces her husband, the husband must pay the lady $30,000 in settlements.
Is that what the law really says about divorce?
Of course, sir. After all, I am a lawyer, which is a highly important job. I'm too busy to make jokes about my job.
You're absolutely correct. I've never met a lawyer who didn't take their profession seriously.
In that situation, may I presume you want to settle the outstanding account by paying what you owe?
Before I do anything else, I simply want to make sure. Is that you, Edward of LMP?
Sir, you are correct. That's right. And since lawyers don't lie, you know it's true.
I see. So, I'd like to request 2 days before I respond officially.
You require 2 days?
Yes, I have a few things to think about, and all I need is some time. After all, $30,000 is a significant money.
So, I think you have a point there. So long as you don't intend to flee?
Of course not, since if I did anything like that, I would most likely lose my job and be in even more trouble. I promise not to flee.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Aside from that, as a lawyer, I believe it would be dangerous for you to run when you have so much evidence against you. Given that escaping would be nearly difficult, I see no reason why I shouldn't trust you right now.
Thank you very much. Okay, then, I'll respond in 2 days.
Sir, I eagerly await your response.
Samson, hello. You are present. I'd want to speak for a moment.
Oh my goodness, Bella. Where have you gone? Where did you flee?
I thought I told you I was still seeing my ex. We are now living together.
Yes, I'm aware of it. But all I wanted to know was where you lived.
Why would I ever tell you that? I would be crushed if something happened to my man, therefore I'm not going to tell you anything. Anyway, I've already filed my divorce papers. They are expected to arrive tomorrow, so please submit your documentation as well. Of course, I'm also demanding alimony. I'm thinking about asking for $1 million. And that's on the low end. Of course, you make enough money that you wouldn't notice if you paid the entire amount at once.
So you want $100,000 immediately instead? Do you honestly believe I have that much money to throw around?
Now? Instead? What are you discussing right now?
Oh, I'm sorry. I think I'm just talking to myself here. Well, see, I have no objections to finalizing our divorce. I'll start working on the paperwork tonight. But, what about alimony? I'm just doing some poking around, and certain things don't seem to add up. I don't believe I have any obligation to pay you.
Is that true? And what makes you think that? The $100,000 wasn't a joke. It was a figure I came up with after carefully calculating how much I would need to maintain my existing standard of living. As your wife, I have the right to demand payment as well, so pay up.
This is unusual.
What? Are you referring to the amount I've asked for? You believe it's excessive? Is that how you made your money? By always being so cheap. So you'd better cope with it because I'm not going to ask for anything else.
No. It's not that you're asking too much.
So, what exactly is it?
So, I was conducting some web research and came across something that you might find interesting. But I assume you'll find out tomorrow. Anyway, bye. Mr. Edward, could you please excuse me? We talked a couple of days ago about how my wife hired you for our divorce. Anyway, it's been 2 days, so I'm reaching out as agreed. Do you have any time to chat about what we were discussing?
Oh, Mr. Sampson. It's wonderful to hear from you. So, tell me, have you made your decision? Will you agree to pay the full amount of $30,000 to divorce your wife?
No. I'm afraid I won't be able to pay any of it.
Please excuse me.
In fact, I believe I will be the one suing for damages. So you can anticipate me to send you an invoice for the same amount.
I'm not sure I understand. Mr. Sampson, what do you suppose you're doing here?
I'm doing exactly what you're doing. $30,000 is the asking price.
I'm not sure what you're saying right now, sir. Do you know where you stand in the eyes of the law right now? Sir, I'll give you a hint, and it's not good. Please put an end to all of this nonsense about not paying. I realize it's a lot, but we have to act like grown-ups about it.
Oh, really? And I have to pay because, according to you, this is what a woman receives for divorcing her husband?
I know you may not like it, but I am simply relaying what the law states.
I know that many people believe that is how divorce works, but they would be greatly misled if they did any genuine investigation.
Sir, this is a statutory fee. There is no error here. I'm a lawyer, and attorneys don't make mistakes.
And I'm here to tell you that you're inventing this law, which does not exist. According to the letter of the law, whichever party is found to be unfaithful must financially recompense the other. That is, if the cheater is caught, he or she must compensate the victim. No aspect of the law is governed only by a person's gender.
And what does an armchair attorney like you know about how the law actually works?
I've already assembled it. I'm aware that you're the man with whom my wife is having an affair. You're her ex.
I'm not sure what you're on about.
I know you've been seeing each other on and off for about 3 years. I had hired a private investigator to investigate my wife's affair and determine who the man she was sleeping with was.
You hired a detective agency to spy on your wife?
Not only her. You, as well. This detective even followed you into a pub and sat close enough to overhear what you were saying, including you bragging about your brilliant scheme to mimic a lawyer and cheat me out of money. But do you want to know what tipped you off? You must have been so proud of yourself when you thought of that minor detail. However, you should have exercised greater caution. Because it's the one certain way I know you're not a lawyer.
What do you mean? Naturally, I'm a lawyer. This is insane.
So, do you still insist on being Edward from LMP?
Of course I am. How could I not be?
So, with which bar association do you belong?
What is a bar association? What does the location of my drinking have to do with anything? What about your license number? For what? My car? Oh. Right. That is the license. Well. I believe we have the right to privacy in this nation, and I refuse to answer those queries on that basis.
You are aware that it is simple to locate information on lawyers on the American Bar Association's website, right?
Wait. Is this true?
And one more thing, which should have tipped you off, Edward is a buddy of mine.
He is not. No, I don't think so.
But I don't believe I ever had the opportunity to adequately introduce myself. My name is Samson, and I work for the LMP legal business.
What do you mean?
Well, I remember Edward, who was a lawyer at this business. Edward is a female.
A woman?
Perhaps this is just a coincidence. Perhaps you had no idea a genuine lawyer named Edward existed. But even if you did, you didn't bother checking to see if they were a guy or a woman.
Please wait. I believe there is an error.
So let us reacquaint ourselves. So, what do you think, Chad? By the way, I previously went through the bother of putting your name through a couple of databases, and none of them generated a lawyer with your name. Of course, you must be aware with our state's penal code's Title 53 as Section 130. The one that explains the legal ramifications of impersonating a lawyer without being one yourself. In case you forgot, persons found guilty of this offense risk up to 2 years in prison and a $30,000 fine.
You must be kidding. Is that against the law?
Of course, no one has been seriously injured as a result of your imitation. I'd say you'll be fine if you just pay me the money I asked for earlier. I've already spoken with the genuine Edward, who has promised not to pursue any legal action against you as long as you agree. And as long as you never forget that what you attempted to accomplish is illegal.
I see. I deeply regret this.
Hey, Samson! What did you do to Chad, and what is the matter with him?
Sorry, but I don't understand what you're saying.
He promised to pay you the money you wanted from him. He said I wasn't going to receive what I wanted from you. What happened to him? What sort of lies did you tell him? All I needed was $100,000, and the whole thing might have been over. Why did you feel the need to destroy everything?
Oh, I think I get what's going on here. Did you ever tell Chad what I do for a living?
What do you mean? What does that have to do with anything?
However, when I discovered that one of you was asking for $30,000 and the other for $100,000, I recognized you couldn't have been working together. You were both attempting to extract money from me without informing the other.
I honestly don't understand what you're talking about.
I'm referring to your accomplice. The one with whom you cheated on me. Did you know he came to me dressed as a lawyer and demanded $30,000 in alimony on your behalf? Despite the fact that I'm a lawyer.
What is he?
And, based on some research I've done, Chad appears to be still in a lot of debt. He must have regarded this as an opportunity to acquire some money to help pay it off.
What exactly do you mean by he's in debt? He informed me he has a job that pays him $200,000 per year.
I'm afraid that was most likely a lie to persuade you to return to him. Chad is a hopeless gambling addict with a massive debt.
That isn't possible.
Now, what about you? You are aware that women are not automatically compensated during the divorce procedure, aren't you? In fact, if there is evidence of them cheating or engaging in other forms of adultery, the amount is lowered or even canceled entirely.
No. That is not possible. So you're saying I won't get paid?
Of course not. Did I really marry such a moron? I feel sorry for myself more than anyone else right now.
Samson, I'm sorry. I'd like to tell you something.
What do you want?
I've decided not to divorce after all.
Are you serious?
Yes, of course. It was a ridiculous idea. I'll leave Chad as soon as possible and return home.
Good luck with that, because I've already relocated.
You relocated?
Yeah, now that I'm single, I don't need as much space as we did.
I can't believe you're telling the truth. Where should I go now?
That is not my concern. You could consider living with your parents again.
Why would I do something like that?
I'm not sure, I'm simply throwing out some possibilities. They're not really pleased with you right now, so I'm not sure if they'll assist.
What exactly are you on about?
So, I called them to inform them of the divorce and that you're cheating. To put it mildly, they were astounded. So, they might not be able to assist you right now.
What exactly is it? What did you do? Why did you drag my parents into this?
They called since they hadn't heard from you in a while, so I told them what was going on. Anyways, see ya. Following that, I heard Bella was hiding out at Chad's place, avoiding her family's angry phone calls. As for Chad, he had given up the fight already and was eager to have Bella taken off his hands. He ended up breaking up with her because she had just added to his debt. She left, but not before both of them were issued with papers. Bella soon agreed to the divorce terms I provided, and Chad paid my colleague's impersonation costs. Chad looked to have turned his life around and become a useful member of society after that. Hopefully, he will discover his own path and lead a happy life. But what about my ex-wife? Her demeanor worsened. She could only muster enough motivation to look for a part-time job. I believe her current intention is to marry a wealthy unmarried middle-aged man instead. I already feel sorry for that poor man.
How are you feeling right now, Henry? Were you shocked by what we were doing together? Of course, you were. How could you not be? I bet you'll be traumatized for life from the scene you just stumbled into.
No, it's not Lucy. I just left there because I was disappointed in you. It would take a lot more than that to really shock me. Besides, I knew you were gonna be there from the beginning anyway. That's why I went out of my way to go home at this time. So I could catch you in the act along with him. I just wanted to see it with my own 2 eyes.
Oh. That makes a lot of sense now. I was thinking maybe you were finally catching on to what was actually going on. I thought today might be the day you finally figured it out and tried to confront me. But I also wondered how long it was going to take you to notice. You did come home earlier than usual today too. Turns out you really did plan this whole thing so you can burst in on us so you could finally feel better about your nagging little suspicions. That is so lame of you. I bet that small feeling of victory has passed now and you're feeling pretty terrible about finding out the truth. But anyway, that's unfortunate for you. Because I'm all ready to divorce you. I don't even care even though you saw us together. I was going to leave you for him sooner or later anyway. All you did was speed up the process for us. So actually, thank you for that. We are forever in your debt. I won't forget your sacrifice.
Well, that figures, I guess. Even though I caught you 2 red-handed, you have a real calm attitude about all of this. And you were clearly intentionally getting real dirty with him in front of me. You rub salt in the wound, Lucy. No doubt, you're really rotten to your core. I'm not sure how you managed to walk around without falling apart, the festering pile of garbage that you are. Not sure you even have enough empathy to be called a human.
Hey, that sounds a little bit harsh.
Well, the one you cheated on me with was your coworker, right? And his name is Corn.
Oh, you even know all that as well. You are indeed little stalker, Henry. Okay, if you know that much I'll tell you. We had been working with each other before officially dating.
Whatever, it's now my problem anymore.
How cold can you be? We are husband and wife, you know. Sworn to stay together for better or worse. Well, jokes aside, maybe that's only natural. You don't want a romantic novel-length story about the man who stole your wife off you, do you?
Well, honestly, not at all. How could I get interested about something so stupid and vapid? But anyway, when I saw it all happen in person today, it went a long way towards me making up my mind. So now I can just ask this favor of you without any hesitation whatsoever. Please divorce me as soon as you can.
Oh, where does such a sudden and strong conviction come from? Well, I can't say that I expected that from you. Perhaps you expected something different from our little conversation.
What do you mean by expecting something different, exactly?
Maybe you want me to beg you not to go or something like that. What a pity though, it wasn't all soppy and sentimental like you expected. The truth is, I was just itching to drop you as soon as I possibly could.
Oh, that's not what I expected at all. I'm not naive enough to think that someone who betrayed my trust would just roll over and one-sidedly apologize. But I must admit, I did think you were gonna maybe panic a little more. You seemed almost too calm for someone who was in your situation. You might even say that you looked so confident. It was as if you played that scenario of me catching you in your head beforehand.
Well, what a pity for you in that case. Well, looking back on it, maybe I didn't know you so well as I thought I did, after all. Well, these things can't be helped. Love is full of mysteries and surprises like this, isn't it? Because I fell in love with my dear Corn instead of you.
Yeah, I could tell. I wonder what gave it away.
I will divorce you, then marry him. Oh, it sure sucks to be you, Henry.
I don't really care.
What is it, Henry? Are you upset with me? I bet you're going through a whole relationship in your head, trying to figure out where it all went wrong, huh? The truth is, it was just never meant to be between the two of us.
No, I'm not mad at you.
You're putting on a tough act. You can barely hold back that floodgate full of tears, right? You scratch that. You probably actually are already crying. I can picture your scrunched up face right now. Your phone screen all drenched with your own tears. Well, I'm more than happy with getting that divorce. It's just a little bit earlier than planned is all, but it still suits me just fine to be honest. I've already filled in and signed the divorce papers ahead of time. All I need to do is to pick them up and sign them whenever you want.
You already have the paper signed and ready?
Of course, Henry. Come get them from me whenever you have the time for it. But today might not be the best day for you to come. I and Corn are busy with some stuffs. You might see the two of us together again.
Agreed with that. I don't want to see something so disgusting again.
Especially not twice in the same day. Excuse me? Who are you calling disgusting? Do you want to repeat what you just said to me?
I think you can work out who it was. This should be an elementary problem even for you. You and that guy are the only people I would be referring to right now. What I'm saying is, you're both disgusting creatures. From what you're both doing, to the way you think about this whole sickening affair, even your evil, dumb grinning faces, every single thing about you and him are completely and utterly nauseating and disgusting. All I ask is that you don't ever show that disgusting face in front of me. Ever again. Tell your lover the same thing for me, that would be great.
You're so annoying. You're making me so mad now. You always have to get the last word in like that, don't you? I'll bung all your stuff in a box and get it all the way to your parents' house.
You never seeks to amaze me, Lucy. How slow you are. All my things are no longer there at the house. Don't tell me that you didn't even notice that. Just how busy are the two of you holed up in that room? Never mind, you don't have to answer that. I would much rather not have to throw up where I am at the moment.
What? All your stuffs are with you already? So you don't need to come back for it anymore?
Right, Lucy. There's not a hint of remorse from you. You should hardly be surprised that I did that. Did you really think that I would just go crashing the crime scene without thinking up a single plan just in case my gut feelings were right? Well, you always have been short-sighted in your planning like that. I mean, it seems like you really didn't think through any of what you just did. You think that if you just get that divorce from me, everything will be done and dusted, don't you? That you can just ride off into the sunset in your honeymoon carriage, and the two of you will live happily forever after? Real life isn't so black and white, you know. Even if this was a fairy tale, a vile, wicked, petty witch like you would ever be the poor mistreated heroine.
But that's all? I literally just divorced you and get married to corn. It's not illegal to get divorced or cheat on your partner. What could possibly go wrong for us at this point?
But anyway, my point is, if you want things to go your way, you need more of a plan than just love. That's not the attitude of a person who just had a secret affair and betrayed her husband. Not even an attempt to apologize to me?
Why should I need to apologize? I told you already, didn't I? I was ready to get a divorce already. I don't need your forgiveness or your permission to marry him.
Look, Lucy. It doesn't matter at all if you were already planning for years to get a divorce or anything like that. Do you understand that you didn't simply just have an affair? You broke some major rules here if this marriage were a major sports match. You didn't just unintentionally accidentally step on the opponent's foot. You may as well have tried to pull out a knife and stab another player. In full view of the ref, the audience, and the cameras for the whole world to see.
Rules in a marriage? Are you my father, Henry? This is why I'm getting rid of you. Anyway, all is fair in love and war.
I mean, all I'm trying to say here is you're free to behave as idiotically and recklessly as you like, but you're taking some huge risks, so that means you have to be prepared to face some big consequences for you and him.
What on earth are you talking about? Did this shock of what you saw earlier send you stupid? What risk could you possibly be talking about here? You mean the risk of getting caught in the act of cheating? Like some perverted producer trying to do us dirty for some crass prank TV show? You sound like a petulant child trying to scare me with something so pointless. Interesting though, but that's a risk I can live with. It's already past anyway.
Are you being serious right now? You really think that's the risk I was talking about? Is me showing up suddenly such a huge risk that I would feel the need to warn you about it? Even though it's already happened and you don't have to worry about it in the future anymore, like I explained? I want you to really work those brain cells and think hard about this one before you answer.
What? Am I wrong about that? If not, what is this terrible risk that you warned me about? Why don't you stop prophesying in riddles though, and just spit out your great wisdom straight to me? Just get a divorce and it's all over between us, right? You even said yourself that you don't want to ever hear from me again, so even you seem to agree with me. Well, I guess my mom and dad would be pretty mad at me though. So I might get chewed out a bit, but that should really be it for me after that.
Okay, whatever. I think that's enough giving advice to my cheating wife who I'm soon divorcing anyway.
What? You're done already? But you still haven't answered my question.
You should really pay me if you're gonna keep consulting me like a lawyer. But we both know you're not about to hire me as your attorney. So with that said, let's end this pointless discussion and call it a day.
What do you mean pointless discussion?
Like I said, end of discussion.
This is getting too tiresome and repetitive. Only because you're just dancing around the issues. Just tell me directly.
I feel like an idiot for talking to you so seriously about this. You were never going to understand the point I was making anyway. But on the bright side, you will find out what I mean soon enough.
Hey, stop it. You're making a fool out of me, aren't you? See, this is exactly the kind of attitude of yours that really annoys me. There's no wonder why your woman is leaving you.
I have never once made a fool out of you. But today you have proved over and over again that you're plenty capable enough of making a ginormous fool out of yourself without any help from me whatsoever.
See, you just did it again. You made a fool out of me again. You know you just did, like all the times you did before. There's no denying it with your attitude and those words that clearly show how much you look down on me.
Lucy, are we done yet? That's enough lip from you.
Either way, I would be better off divorcing you than languishing in some loveless marriage anymore. I don't even want to be in anymore. You're the one who will lose in all of this. You might be making fun of me now, but I am the one who will have the last laugh.
better off without me, huh? If divorcing me would only have upsides for you, that's all fine and well, isn't it? You might as well go ahead with the proceedings then, the sooner the better. So you'll be leaving the house pretty soon.
Why would I do that? Are you dumb or something? Why do I need to leave my own house?
That house is mine, Lucy. Did you seriously forget that I bought that property when I was single, before I met you? I bought it under my name, so I am the legal owner of that house you're squatting in right now.
Then hand the house over to me.
Quit screwing around to get out of there, you jerk. Besides, I was planning to sell that place soon anyway.
So what? I don't care about that. It would be a waste to sell that house to someone else. I'm fine if you would just give it to me instead, a stranger whom you don't owe anything to. Now that would work real good from my perspective.
Well, but that's just a complete lose situation for me. Why on earth would I waste my house on you? You don't have the right to decide. I'll be heading back to my parents' house soon. I'll stay there for a little while until this all blows over.
Do whatever, Henry. Don't you ever bother two of us though. You're a lonely single loser.
Anyway, it doesn't matter what you say or do at this point. Regardless of what you think, what I'm expecting will probably happen, exactly the way I think it will. I hope the two of you have a happy life together.
Yeah, I'm not so stupid that I can't detect sarcasm. Then goodbye, Henry. We probably never speak to each other again. Long time no see, Henry. You stingy excuse of a man who cried and claims compensation for emotional damages just because you were cheated on a little. I bet your life is just going perfect without me, isn't it? What are you doing right now? Hey, are you ignoring my texts? You're still not man enough to talk to me.
Who's this?
What? You deleted my number?
Oh, that's Lucy, right?
Yeah, it's me.
So what's wrong? What does this conversation mean? Do you really think I was insulting you somehow? I'm not sure what I did to badmouth you exactly. But there was no point in me being so polite or apologizing to you for insulting you.
You're really an awful guy. Do you think other people usually forget their ex-wife's phone number?
To be honest, I couldn't care less about you. That's how I forgot it was you all this time.
Oh, I've had enough of you. Anyway, I actually need to ask you this time. You still haven't submitted those divorce papers yet?
I have no idea what you're talking about, Lucy.
Don't play dumb, Henry. You know perfectly well what I mean. I'm talking about the divorce papers for the divorce between you and I. And you haven't formally submitted them to the city hall, have you?
I don't know why you feel the need to ask this question. I officially filed for divorce a long time ago. Didn't you get any of the letters from my lawyer?
Are you sure that isn't illegal?
What?
I really still don't get what you're trying to get. It's like a return to a horror novel I put down years ago because I was too scared. You're honestly giving me the creeps.
Don't blame me just because you're the ignorant one, Henry. Don't tell me you really don't know such basic stuff. Divorce formalization is something that a married couple is required to go and submit together. You can't get a divorce finalized if it's only done by one person without the other.
Right, I'll come clean to you. I know the law well enough though. The reason why I put off formalization is that I need to handle my asset.
What? Apart from the old house, you have anything else?
Actually, a big yes. I have saved up $1 million in the bank.
Really? How can you do that?
It's none of your business. And I have to change the owner of that money to my mom during our marriage. So that the official won't be suspicious of me. Or that means I don't need to list that money into paper. I don't want her to get a cent from me, on purpose or by accident.
Why don't you tell me that, Henry? I will never leave you.
Stop being a gold digger. So I've given the paper to the hall this morning. All you should do is to wait for the official inform.
You. Is that your all plan?
You don't need to know. By now. A few minutes after that unfortunate conversation, Lucy trudged off somewhere. Since then I haven't seen her in my sight. Thankfully I don't have a clue what she's doing now because she wanders around without a fixed address. No one seems to know anything about her or what she's doing anyway. Yeah, now that the money's sorted, I really couldn't care less about her anymore. Blocked her from my phone so I will probably never hear from her ever again. That would be just wonderful.